DoorDash girl, the evil creep, finally got what she deserved. Let's check it out.
She's back. Everybody's favorite DoorDash girl. You know the one I mean. Olivia Henderson, the woman who claimed a man deliberately exposed himself to her and sexually assaulted her, all to get clicks, likes, and validation. And as we saw when she did, the internet exploded. The guy...
And really, she just couldn't follow simple instructions of drop it at the door and walk away.
got labeled a creep within minutes, and just like always, nobody waited for the facts. Nope, he was guilty as charged because, you know, it's believe all women. She's the victim as she screamed in video after video. Well, my friend,
she went like crazy in her videos. She looked insane.
Friends, the facts have finally showed up, and they didn't go the way people expected. So today we're going to update this little story and look at what's to come. And maybe, just maybe for once, we'll see if a falsely accused man will actually get some justice. Okay, so as I said, Olivia Henderson, aka DoorDash Girl, was at the center of a viral incident that she in fact created last October, and now good old Livy, as she apparently likes to be called, has been indicted by a grand jury on 2 felony counts. Not accused on TikTok, not debated in comment sections, but actually indicted for 2 felonies by a grand jury.
Really glad. I've covered a lot of this on my other channel pretty much from the beginning, and I've been waiting for the juicy indictment and the final sentencing on this, so hopefully it's good.
That means prosecutors presented evidence and a group of citizens, both men and women, said, yeah, there's enough here to take this to trial. The charges, as we discussed before in prior videos, are unlawful surveillance in the 2nd degree and dissemination of unlawful surveillance in the 1st degree. And those, my friend, are some serious charges. We're not...
Many people tried to argue with me on my other video, on my other channel, that it's her right to film this guy and it's free speech or whatever. No, it's not. You don't go into his house and film him.
Talking about a slap on the wrist here. We're talking about felony level offenses tied to privacy violations, which come with potentially several years of jail time. Curiously, though, they still haven't charged her for filing a false report. You know, for making a police report claiming she was sexually assaulted. And they never will. Why? Because as DAs, judges, and more than a few police officers have directly told me, we don't do that. But at least in this case, we got something. So in case you aren't aware of the story, and honestly I don't know how you couldn't be with all the coverage it got way back when, let's briefly break down what allegedly happened. And I say allegedly,
and I've literally got like 5 videos on my Jesus Reacts channel.
because, well, as journalists, we have to put it that way. But if you go and find the videos she posted, well, I think it's safe to say the evidence speaks for itself. Because the original story, her original story, and then the reality of what actually happened are not the same thing. According to the police reports and multiple news outlets, not to mention as shown in her original video, the one she later took down, re-edited, and then reposted with a few things removed, Henderson went up to a door and may have actually entered a customer's residence during a DoorDash delivery. She admitted too online that she had instructions not to go in, just drop it at the door, because clearly, I mean, this dude ordered it probably knowing he was gonna be passed out. Chose to record a video of the man who, according to police reports, was reportedly intoxicated and unconscious inside his own home. She then posted that video online, where it quickly went viral to the tune of tens of millions of views. No one questioned its truth. No one asked if what she said had happened actually happened. No, it was believe all women run wild. In many ways, it still is. Now here,
That's why I feel like I should slip this in here. This is why men are walking away from dating, because you end up in a situation where all of a sudden you've got false allegations against you just because they want some clicks and likes.
here's the part that got completely ignored at the time, and in many cases is still being ignored by those who are still standing behind Ms. Henderson.
It is really amazing how many people are on her side when she even said she had instructions to leave it at the door. She had no reason to go into his house, peek in, or anything.
And that is that the investigators found no evidence, none whatsoever, that the man actually assaulted her.
Yeah.
Let me repeat what they did find, though. The man was unconscious inside his home. So her claiming he sexually assaulted her could not have happened. And
Well, she claimed he did that intentionally, laying there with his pants down. But isn't it SA for her to post him online? Because if you go on Twitter, you could find videos where you can see his pecker, and then she embarrassed this poor guy. Like, isn't that assault?
didn't, which means the entire narrative she was spreading, the one she spread across social media, was built on assumptions, not facts. There is not a single shred of proof he did anything she claimed he did repeatedly in multiple videos posted on TikTok and elsewhere. So now instead, the legal issue becomes this. She allegedly, and again I use that term because I have to, recorded someone in a private setting without their consent, and then deliberately and willfully chose to distribute that footage publicly, which is exactly what these felony charges are about. And just so we're clear, I'm not a lawyer, nor am I claiming to be, but I do know that recording someone in a private space without their permission, especially in a state of undress, that's not some gray area. It's a crime in New York State where this occurred, and pretty much everywhere. That's why laws around unlawful surveillance exist in the first place.
I mean, regardless of that, you don't gotta be a genius here, or a lawyer, or a police officer to see who is clearly in the wrong by her behaviors.
To protect people from having pictures of their naked body disseminated to the world, or used to embarrass, shame, or accuse. You know, just like good old Livy did. So now she's been indicted, and let's talk about what happens next, because this isn't over, far from it. Oh, we're just getting started. With a grand jury indictment, the case now moves forward in the criminal justice system. That means there will likely be an arraignment, then pretrial motions, then potentially a full trial if no plea deal is reached. And let's hope
So many more DoorDash videos are coming because she still hasn't actually been sentenced.
the DA sticks to their guns and doesn't plea this down to, say, a misdemeanor, which could very well happen. But we can only hope that it doesn't. If convicted, these charges can carry, as I mentioned earlier, significant penalties, including,
I mean, I hope they don't dumb it down for her just because she's a young lady who made a mistake.
prison time of up to potentially 8 years, according to reports.
Give it all.
And that's just
all
the
8.
criminal side. There's also the very real possibility of a civil action, which I hope to God the victim pursues.
Me too.
Nothing has been filed yet that I'm aware of, and that's most likely because they're waiting on the outcome of the criminal charges. Because if she pleads down or is found guilty, it makes the civil case much easier to prove. The man involved could pursue a lawsuit against her for invasion of privacy, emotional distress, and reputational harm. He
I mean,
could
that is straight up defamation right there.
potentially win millions of dollars, though odds are he'll never collect a dime of it,
She don't
which
have
is
it.
little solace considering the damage he's already faced and will continue to face for the rest of his life. Because let's not pretend this stayed small. His image, his name, his address, his situation was broadcast to millions of people without his consent. Millions of people who later said he was guilty until proven innocent. And even though he now has been proven innocent, many still aren't convinced he is. And let's address another uncomfortable
Those people are
truth
dumb,
that
though.
nobody wants to talk about: the reality that men face when they're falsely accused. Even if he's completely cleared, even if every fact is on his side, just like in this case. The damage is already done. It cannot be reversed.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to save face, even if you were not the criminal, because everyone will always have their own opinion. And you've got all the people who believe her, and it'll be like, that's unfair that she's being charged, and blah, blah, blah. And you know, it sucks. Sometimes you just can't recover from these things.
Will forever have that label attached to him, forever have to live in fear that a woman, any woman, even one he doesn't know, even one who is simply delivering a food order, could decide to make an example of him for clicks, likes, and clout.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's like he didn't even know this girl, and she went after him. It's one thing, like if you go on a date with someone, you know someone, they're acting crazy. You know, they have one drink, so they're like, oh, it wasn't consensual or whatever. It's just this is why men are just trying to leave women behind.
And even when it's proven to be a lie, he'll still suffer, because the internet doesn't issue corrections. It just moves on. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because this case is bigger than one person. This is a lesson that everyone should take away, but most won't, because this case is a textbook example of how modern social media works against men, how women have weaponized it and Me Too. Step 1, make an accusation, one you know will be believed without question. Step 2, go viral, get the clicks, the likes, the validation, and oh yeah, a whole bunch of money too. Step 3, let the internet fill in the blanks and goad them on to make even more, all so you can bask in the glory of your achievement. Step 4, months later when the truth comes out, laugh, because you know deep down inside, nobody cares anymore. They moved on. They're never going to hold you accountable because they don't care about the truth or his innocence.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, look at what we do with just like politics and the news. They distract us with one thing while they're doing something else, and then months later, that trend has died. No one's talking about it anymore. It's the same thing with this kind of stuff.
Because the outrage already got its clicks, and the people have already made their assumptions. And that's the part that should bother people, regardless of what side you're on. The accusation was instant. The accountability took months. And even now, many are refusing to acknowledge the truth, acknowledge the reality. They're refusing to accept that a man can be innocent until proven guilty. And that gap right there, that's where reputations get destroyed. It's where people lose jobs, relationships, credibility. That's where people lose their lives, both literally and figuratively. Before a single fact is confirmed, before anyone thinks to ask, is what the woman's saying even true? And if the roles were reversed, well, let's not play dumb. We all know how fast that story would have escalated, or should I say, wouldn't have. Because while, yes, there are others like me speaking out about this, others who have pointed out the double standard, the fact is the views, clicks, and likes are dwarfed by the ones Miss Henderson got, and thousands of other women who made their own videos in support of her, including some doing it even now. Which brings us to the bigger question. Why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep treating viral claims that women make like verified truth?
The answer, people are dumb. We have gotten dumber. Social media, fake news, it has made people dumb. Entitled women in this generation, dumb. Everybody's just getting dumber, and they just keep making these big deals out of stuff like this. They don't know facts. They post stupid stuff. They're all trying to, yeah, I mean, I'm on YouTube. We're jumping on the train of what's trending. Everyone's trying to be a social media influencer expert because everybody wants that easy money that just comes from clicking post.
Why do we keep rewarding people for posting first instead of being right? Honestly, I don't know. I think part of it is that it fits so well into the toxic war against masculinity, fits women's feels, makes them feel strong and independent because they view it as a sister destroying a man, the patriarchy, if you will. Who cares if she lied? That's where we are right now, where women are executing vigilante justice against completely innocent men simply because they can. simply because they know they'll get rewarded by the coven for doing so.
I mean, even before, I mean, it's been this way for years. Like, you get into a fight with your girl at home, it escalates bad, you call the cops, chances are it's going to get flipped and reversed on you, and then you, the man, is going to end up doing jail time when your girl was actually the one in the wrong, because they just break down with the tears and the crying and the accusations, and for some reason, people believe them.
The system is backwards. You get attention for making the claim, and maybe eventually you get consequences for lying. But that's a big maybe, and that maybe is the problem. Now, time will tell in this case. Sure, we got an indictment, but an indictment is not a conviction. The old saying goes, you can indict a ham sandwich. And yes, she still has the right to defend herself in court, as she should be able to. She's for sure going to be given the benefit of the doubt, and I'm willing to bet for sure going to get the female discount. Yes, she should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. That matters. But what also matters is that this case has officially crossed from internet drama into the legal system. And the legal system, hopefully, will be a lot less forgiving than the TikTok comments.
I hope so.
I hope she's made an example of, so the next time something like this goes viral, and there will be another time, and another, maybe, just maybe, some will wait a day. Some will let the facts come in first and let the evidence show up. Some might even let men be innocent until proven guilty. Because while jumping to conclusions might feel good in the moment, situations like this prove something pretty simple. Being first doesn't mean you're right.
Nope.
And assuming guilt doesn't automatically make someone guilty. In this case, telling a lie, being wrong, comes with felony charges. Let's hope they come with justice as well.
Well, it looks like we still have to wait to find out what her actual charges are, but hopefully they come soon. So, but if you guys like that video, please hit subscribe and the little dingy button up there, and then give me those likes and comments and all that good stuff down below. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace out.